the net worth changed dramatically. Team Secret were only about 5,000 net worth ahead, and then two really bad team fights, and all of a sudden they're above 12,000.
I think VP are just getting a little bit too skittish, which is perfectly fine in this situation. They're not 100% certain if they can win a fight or not, but they decide to go for it, and you learn that lesson, and I think VP is going to learn off of that, especially in this game, and just say, okay, let's play a little bit more passively, let's wait for our opportunities, and they're a good enough team to still win this.
It's going to be all about playing defense right now. Team Secret is already knocking on that tier 3, the top lane. Arteezy with that Desolator, putting in the damage fast. The rest of VP are actually looking to take that tier 1 bottom, but they are going to be forced back. They have to stay 5-man constantly, so the moment Illidan goes up to the top lane, everybody else has to retreat.
So right now, the Magnus, one of the best high ground defense heroes in the game, just because you can drag people back to your tier 3s. And that's what you're looking for right now, but Secret, what they're probably going to do is just farm out the map, wait for the next Roshan, maybe even smoke and bait VP into thinking they're going for the Rosh and force a sleep. Like, even if VP get away from that at that point, you've committed to sleep and you know you can take the Roshan no matter what. There's no reason to push preemptively before that. Like, Arteezy's not that tanky, actually. He can still die quite easily. He's gone for this really ultra glass cannon build with the Deso, Blink Dagger, and Yasha.
Right.
Without a BKB, it's incredibly easy to kill him still.
Nice blink away there from DK Phobos. Arteezy will just take the creeps he was trying to farm up. And it feels like VP are going to have to pick up some items that allow them to kite Team Secret around, particularly Arteezy's Templar Assassin, who, as you said, does have such an offensive build. I feel like a Force Staff is really necessary. DK Phobos, maybe even the Silencer picks one up as well. Ghost Scepters, another item that may be necessary.
Oh, they're sandwiching right here.
They're going to try and go for S4. He does have the Yule Scepter, will be caught by the RP. Virtus Pro are willing to throw everything they have to be able to make sure they get a pick off there, but at the same time, with Global Silence and Illidan popping his ultimate, Team Secret will not be able to get anything else, but Arteezy's already there in that top lane, putting pressure on the tier 3. Lil, kind of skittish, doesn't really want to challenge him too much. VP, God was kind of trapped there in the middle lane, but now, there's the sleep. FNG going to make sure that Kuro doesn't get out of this one. There's still the snowball, though. Still a lot of potential for Kuro to maybe get out of this one. The snowball's going to delay his death, pulling it back. Kuro now trying to run himself away, but the Ooks are still there. Vacuum 3-net Echo Slam! There it is from Puppey with the snowball on top, and VP quickly trying to retreat, but they've been caught. Lil, Laguna Blade, and the last right click catches him. Illidan, he's also running out of mana while Arteezy's trying to pick up as many kills as possible. Illidan will end up going down, and Team Secret just wiped 4 right in front of their base.
Oh man, that was such a beautifully well set up play. Zai with that vacuum. Puppey reads it as they're being sucked in. They overcommit a little bit too hard for Kuro. I mean, this is just Secret at the top of their game right now. They're really feeling it. This is when a team just really feels like they can execute whatever combo that they want, because the rest of the game has gone so well for them. I mean, Arteezy is just chasing everybody down at will. They're going to take this tier 3 tower down for free. They know that the sleep is down. They know that the RP is down as well.
Yeah, it seems like a full lane of Rax potentially with the Dusa down for another 15 seconds. At the very least, range tracks is going to be trying to be picked up. Nice blink dodge there. The ensnare will grab the range tracks. They're going to look for more. Got to be careful though. Lil's actually stolen Nell. Not a bad ability for Rubik, solely because he's got such long range. And FNG, the rest of his boys will be able to push back Team Secret and defend their melee Rax. That's the important one. But still, losing tier 3 in a range tracks this early on to the game is a bad sign for Virtus Pro's chances.
It's just more of a net worth swing than you'd want to see right now. It's like 20k after that, same in experience, but I stress that VP can still do this. I don't want to count them out just yet. This entire tournament has been about the comeback and how teams have been able to put it together. VP's lineup is built for that. You've still got ways to get back into this game, but it just gets harder as the game goes on because Secret are just feeling more and more bold. And this is not a team that's going to sit back like they did in that last game against, was it eHome? Like, they're playing incredibly aggressively from start one.
I feel like, though, now that they've kind of established some dominance, they can afford to sit back and farm for the next 5 to 10 minutes and just get those, like the way that EG played their game, right? They just build up such a huge net worth lead that by the time they go uphill, it's the death push. And if you manage to rebuff that, great, that's amazing, but it's just so unlikely because the enemy has such a large lead.
Yeah, it's a really good way to play. It's really passive, but there's nothing wrong with securing a 30k gold lead.
Yeah, exactly.
That means you can pretty much take 2 fights in a row, lose them, and still have a pretty decent-sized lead.
I like this pickup. Poppy almost gets caught there and turn around with the Fisher. And I love the Enchant Totem, just to make sure that in situations like this, Lil is not able to steal the Fisher. I also love Arteezy's build, going for the Manta next. Incredibly glass cannon build, but if he uses the Manta at the right times, he can actually dodge so much.
Yeah, it's really good at breaking the global silence and getting out of a lot of spells. So it's a pretty easy pickup for him to make, but they're just waiting for the Roche Pit right now. They've got a trap in there, and they're going to farm out the map as much as they possibly can, and only send the supports into the jungle, so in case they get picked up.
In some trouble, DK Phobos going to need to help him out with an RP. Vacuum on it too, there's the wall on top. They managed to bring some of them away, but God is not going to be able to make that TP out. Kuro once again is there with the snowball. Now DK Phobos trying to stay ahead of Puppy. FNG's ready to go with the sleep if Secret moves too far forward. There it is. The sleep is out. He actually needs to help out Illidan. Looks like VP are not going to try and force anything out of this. They accept it. They have to blow the sleep to make sure everyone else stays alive, but this is now a prime opportunity for Team Secret to push into the base, knowing that there's 2 different big-time ultimates down.
Yeah, and that's probably even worse than not losing any heroes in this phase of the game, when you know that all their abilities are down, and here it goes!
They did it again! Team Secret! Beautiful combination that ensures a pickup on 2, and FNG's just sitting there going, I already blew my sleep, there's nothing I can do about this. Melee Rags goes down, and GG is the call. Virtus Pro. They didn't seem to stand a chance. Team Secret, once they got that slight lead, they held onto it so tight and did not make any mistakes. Very well played, Team Secret. Walking away with the victory in game number 1.
And that's just perfect team play. They completely punished the lineup of VP, who opted to go for a few risky maneuvers, but it didn't pay off. The G silencer, that lane had to go well. Like, the laning phase had to go nearly perfectly for VP to stand a chance, but I mean, Secret, they just played a really thorough game.
And Team Secret, a lot of people have said this about them. Once they're able to get one victory on a team, they usually just find they know exactly what you're all about and are able to find the openings to continue to pick up win after win. So it's going to be a tough job for our analysts to decide what VP need to do in game number 2 to make a comeback.
Thank you very much. There we go then. Game 1 in the history books. Team Secret notching up game 1. And they'll be back in the arena very shortly for their second game in this best of 3, of course. Another chance for Virtus Pro to come back into it. We are back at the panelist desk right now. We're also joined by a very special guest star. Swinnowwinners, how are you doing?
Doing fantastic.
Yeah?
I'm just loving life right now.
Yeah. Your grin it's been on your face for like a day and a half now. You just haven't stopped grinning.
I know, it's just, well, there's just so many things to smile about, right?
You've had a fantastic international, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I already know that you wanted to go further, you wanted to win, and that's all that really matters. And I know you said that before to us, but come on. You've had a great international. You've exceeded expectations everywhere. Everyone's blown away by how far you came.
That's only because the public doesn't scrim, constantly. Our expectations were much higher, but
okay.
Outdoing yours was pretty easy,
Yeah,
I don't think many people expected us to even get here, so, yeah,
right.
Well,
one of the few.
That much.
I had faith in you, brother.
I had
faith. I did. I was there. I picked him out. These guys were going for the boring picks. They were going for Secret, EG, LGD. I was the only one said C-Deck or Complexity. Right?
Confirmed.
Yeah, see?
Okay.
Confirmed. What did you manage to catch much in that last game?
No, I was in a cab. I saw TA he lost like the first 3 minutes. I assume, Waga, you probably know what happens as the TA expert.
I was watching TA quite a lot, yeah. She was struggling in the beginning, but then they made recovery through good rotations on the side of Secret. And then after the 10-minute mark, there was just a very hard time for VP to go aggressive because they're, as we mentioned, we talked a little bit before we went live, but they can't catch people. Yeah. They tried to do it with the song into RP, but there was no damage. They used everything, even the global silence, and they brought one hero to half HP. That was all.
Yeah. Melina, was there a sense of inevitability about this game after about 10 minutes? Did we know where it was heading?
Yeah, before the draft, it looked like, okay, maybe late game they can like Song and a Stone Gaze with the empowered Medusa and do a lot of damage, but they never got to that point. The team fight was irrelevant because Naga was like level 3 at 10 minutes, and they just had too many ways to jump on the silencer. We talked about that was one of his weaknesses, and the Surge TA. I mean, Atos was not very useful there. They also have like Snowball, which Atos is also not very good against, and they just had no good way to protect her.
Yeah, I think off of Waga's point, it's really hard. They really had nothing to combo off of Song. You have a silencer ult, you have an RP, but there's no just hard lockdown if you catch someone out. So you kind of have to blow everything or the Song's wasted, and it's just really difficult to take good fights, especially against one of, if not the best team in the world that way.
Yeah, no, you say that, and you played them in the group stage. How did they stack up?
They're okay.
They're okay.
They have more than enough fans on the bandwagon, so I'm not really going to jump on as well.
Okay, good. I like that. Stays neutral. Brilliant. Good. He'll fit in really well. He should stay on the desk for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Replace Malini.
Well, let's keep Ben. I can go.
Really? No. We need to get rid of Binny.
I'm hungry, but yeah, okay.
All right.
No, that's right.
Okay. Going into game 2, Ben, what are we looking for? Particularly for Virtus Pro. Yeah, what would you do if you were Virtus Pro right now? You go crazy with the draft?
I probably wouldn't second pick Silencer. It's a really good pick, but I think Secret know how to deal with it. They're running stuff they ran against us yesterday, and I think that Secret's much too good of a team to not sort of learn how to deal with that. I expect to see them do something a little weird. Maybe go back to like their bread and butter. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Slark. That's my call, but probably really late pick. Slark or Dro.
Yeah, we were asking for that when we saw the Magnus. Magnus Slark would have been a strong combo, but the Medusa was the favored.
Yeah, Empower on a ranged hero. I get the concept of it, but I feel like the cleave is the main reason. Like Magnus melee carry, just sort of they go hand in hand. The Medusa seemed more of just what do we do?
Really? You think so? What do we do?
Yeah.
I mean, this late in the international, you'd expect teams to have played these things and practiced them.
It's really hard, man. You take hundreds and hundreds of games of practice, and then suddenly you're on stage, and it's 2 out of 3. And it's one of the few TIs that I think I would have really loved to see. Maybe I could have enjoyed 7-game series in the group stages because all of the teams were. They're so much more dynamic than they were in the past, and I feel like the skill levels were a lot more even than we have really ever seen at TI.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, everyone on this panel has said repeatedly over the last 3 days that actually the skill gap has really narrowed between all of the teams. So one small mistake and you could lose and disappear from the tournament. So, yeah I didn't want to bring that up, but...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Why do you
it's nothing compared to what he was going to do, trust me.
Oh, what?
What?
Did you drop something?
Well,
no. Oh, your Yules. Should I grab that for you? Or you want to just leave it there?
I don't know. Someone's just going to come by and kill it.
Yeah. I did see someone dressed up as Rubik earlier, so watch out.
Careful there. All right. We've got a little while before we get back in. And what did you make of that first game?
I thought it was good, but I just wanted to ask Swindleman a question quickly, which is, we have seen the standard come up. Like, even since last year, what has changed? Why is it suddenly so much better? Because the Dota seems much more aggressive, much more coordinated.
In the past, I think it was a big deal as a gamer to be able to support yourself just as a gamer.
Right.
And I think this was the first year where you had a bunch of teams who had that sort of burden of, can I do this? Is this sustainable? That was sort of lifted just because of the amount of money in the prize pool. So you have now potentially hundreds of players who can commit themselves full time to get better at Dota. In the past, it was still a rare thing for like the top of the top, but now it's actually you can do this. You can say, "Hey, mom, I want to be a Dota 2 player," and okay, sounds great. It's just a different mentality, I think, and I think this year we had a lot more people really taking the game seriously. And again, the stakes are so high. How can you not?
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, what is it like out there? Because we're stuck out here in the corridor. But what is it like in the booths, standing on that stage?
It's what you live for. That's why you play.
Yeah.
The pinnacle.